Early in the morning.
What's going on, people? It's your boy Cam, Topical Juice, and I'm back on your screens after a little break. Every December I seem to just go a little bit more inactive on YouTube. I think just with the weather, things going wrong usually in December. A lot of things have gone wrong this December, but you know, we move. But I thought, you know what, I've got some content that I want to push out for y'all, end the year strong. And check in with you and obviously say happy birthday, Merry Christmas to all my subscribers, Merry Christmas to everyone. Even though the context is a bit shitty right now, I hope you guys still managed to have a bit of a good day yesterday. And obviously Boxing Day today, continue the festivities as well, you know what I'm saying? I've got family coming over as well. But anyway, enough waffling. As you can see from the title, yeah, this video is going to be about Fumez the engineer, right? And the kind of controversy around him over the last few months, with him being accused of being a scammer, not paying people this, that, and etc. etc. And I've been monitoring this from a distance here, and I've been torn. But now I know firmly where my opinion lies in it, and I'm going to talk about it basically. So anyway, like the video for me, hit that bell to be notified for me. If you want to support your boy's merchandise, it's in the description below, and obviously hit that subscribe button. Help your boy get to 50,000, road to 50k. Let's do it. So if you don't know who Fumez the engineer is, he's a guy called Fumez, and he's a music engineer. So yeah, you're all caught up. He's been about for years, but he's found a lot more commercial success or mainstream fame and notoriety after the success of his Plugged In series, in it, which is like rappers come on, do a Plugged In with Fumez, usually get millions of views if they're bigger, you know, decent artists or whatever, and some of them might be semi-unknown artists, but they might just go viral anyway because Fumez's platform is big, in it. It's a big platform. It gets millions of views, etc, etc. Over the last year, or I'd say over the last 6 months to a year, Fumez, yeah, has been accused from multiple rappers of not paying artists who come on there, just being a bit slimy and this, that and the other, right? And initially I thought to myself, you know what? This is not a good sign, innit? This is not a good sign for Fumez that multiple people have come out and said that he is tricking them and scamming them and this and this, right? And I thought it's not a good look. Like, surely the common denominator is Fumez. Surely he must be a guilty party here. Now that's what I initially thought. The other side of what I thought was, like, how much do these youths that he's dealing with actually know about business? Do you know what I'm saying? How much of these rappers are educated and knowledgeable enough to understand how contracts and these things work? Do you understand? So that was the other side of things. Now, I firmly fall in the category of these rappers don't actually know what they're talking about, innit? That's what I believe. Now, as I said, multiple rappers have come out over the last year or whatever and accused Fumez of scamming, such as that A1 from the 9. I think as RV come out and said so. Don't quote me on that. Maybe not RV, maybe it was someone random. It wasn't RV actually, I don't think it was. I'll take that back, but either way, it's like a couple other people. But basically, Fumez hasn't really addressed it, and that's what also made him look extra guilty. I'm not gonna lie. He came out on a recent Instagram live and said, "Oh, I didn't actually need to address it, but I'm gonna address it." I actually believe you should have addressed it, to be honest. I believe if multiple people are accusing you of something, I believe you should address it. I think to be honest, you owe it to supporters, you owe it to people that believe in you and actually are fans of you, but also to protect your own brand as well, bro. Like, obviously you're a businessman as well, you wanna blow. And you know, if your brand's taking knocks from people talking shit, then address it. That's what I think anyway. Anyway, the point is, he addressed it eventually, which I'm glad about. And I believe Fumez the engineer, in it. I firmly believe Fumez. I believe that the people he's actually dealing with who have actually accused him, they're not actually educated, in it. I'm not saying they're dumb. You know, they're probably smart, they might be street smart. If you put them if they were born in a different demographic, in a different social situation, they might be going to university and this, that and the other. I'm not saying they're dumb, innit, but the fact of the matter is they're not educated. So a lot of these people, yeah, that Fumez is going into business with and sending contracts to and does dealings with or whatever, they're not educated, bro. They don't know how contracts work. They don't know how business works. Do you understand? They don't know how negotiations work, legitimate negotiations, not, oh yeah, I'm gonna pay this amount for a brick or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? Even though most of these men have never seen a brick or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? So let me get to the main point. Fumez, yeah, came on Instagram Live about 2 days ago, and he fully addressed all of it. He actually shouted out Fezify as well. He was like, you know, it's all gonna be on the blog pages now, rah, rah, rah. probably gonna be Fezify, this, that. So big up Fezify, you know, he's getting a shout out. That's live. That's how you know you're big in the scene, man. You're getting shout outs from Fumez and that. But what else? What go on? So yeah, he basically came online and addressed everything. In a nutshell, they're ignorant to how business works. For example, as you can see on your screen, DSAV said from OFB, plugged in ain't coming out, cause guys are scammers out here. Now that appeared to be the final straw for Fumez, innit? That appeared to be the final straw, because that's what made him jump on Instagram live straight away and address this, right? And let's talk facts. He says, let's talk facts, right? He addresses the DSAV situation straight away, and the fact of the matter is, yeah, he sent DSAV the contract that him and his manager have all signed. They all read it, they agreed to it, they were happy with the price, they all said it was calm, they signed it, sent it back, happy days, right? He's done the plugged in, no problem. And then just before the plugged in's about to come out, DSAV says, I want an extra 5 bags. I want an extra 5K on top of what, I think it was 5K or 3K. I think it was 5 bags. Yeah, it was 5K. So he said, I want an extra 5K. He said, no, like that's not how it works. We've agreed a price, we've agreed this, rah. And that's it. And that's literally it. DSAV, yeah, is a younger. He's someone who's from the streets, he's from OFB, he's young, you know, he's not educated like that. That's not how business works, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? I believe Fumez in this instance. I believe he literally straight up said it as facts. This is what happened and this is what it is. We agreed this, and this. His managers all said this. It was all happy days. Right at last minute, he wants more money. That's not how it works. Boom. What can you do? So how is he a scammer then? If like the reality is, in this instance, DSAV is the scammer. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you lot have agreed the price, and then he said, you know what? I want my peas. I want more peas. Do you know what I'm saying? The A1 from the 9 situation. Apparently that situation was A1 from the 9 wanted an 8-minute plugged in, because his ops had a 6-minute plugged in, or 5-minute plugged in, or a long plugged in, or 7-minute plugged in. Do you know what I'm saying? It was long. So he wanted an 8-minute plugged in. But Fumez didn't want to do that. You know, he was happy to do a 4-minute or whatever. It's his platform. He can decide how the content he wants to put out, and he wasn't really happy with the idea of an 8-minute plugged in. It's not going to captivate people. A1's not really that known as well, if I'm being honest. Like, if you know the scene, then you know who he is. I obviously know who he is, but your mainstream audience won't really know who he is and things like that. So I understand that. But he came online and was, you know, cussing Fumez out and this and that, and calling him this, and when I see you it's this and that, all because he didn't get his way, basically. And that's what this all comes down to. A lot of these men, they're not educated in business. They don't actually know how it works, you know, how contracts work, how like financial obligations and contractual agreements work. They don't know how that works. So and that's not their fault. I'm not saying it's their fault. I'm not saying they're ignorant on purpose. You know, they're ignorant because of the life situations and the cards they were dealt. You know, they dropped out of school early, they jumped into gangbanging or whatever, and this is what it is. They're just not educated. It's as simple as that. So I think it's very important, yeah, that we look at both sides, because people were very quick to cancel Fumez and say he doesn't pay his artists, he just gets them all for free and this, that and the other and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, there's two sides to every like argument, and I was 50-50. That's what I'm saying. I was thinking to myself, this don't really look good for Fumez. But at the same time, I was thinking, like, does this really make sense? Like, how is he snaking them this much and rah. So and ultimately, I'm glad that I took a step back and just waited, because Fumez has now addressed it, and I believe Fumez. You know what I'm saying? So listen, it is what it is. Now a lot of these rappers need to do better with their one, their management, and two, their understanding of how contracts work. You know, contracts are binding. You can't just agree to something and then change it last minute and then don't get your way, and then you start crying about it and things like that, and saying that so-and-so's a snake, so-and-so's a scammer. That's not how it works. The fact is, multiple times he brought up the word contract, so that shows that every plugged in has a contractual agreement before it goes out. Facts. So the plugged in won't go out unless all parties are happy. Facts. So I don't really get what the issue is here. I think it's just people they're just naive and they don't understand how business works. So at the end of the day, if you're not happy with something, don't agree to it. Don't sign the contract. Literally, you have the power to say no. I'm not happy with this. Because at the end of the day, if I'm suddenly popping, and if Fumez asks me to come on somehow, even though hopefully that does happen one day, because I've got cold bars. People on my old Instagram know it, and he says, Cam, I'm only paying you 2 bags, when my last 2 hits have done 5 million hits or something like that. I'll be like, nah, like Fumez, respectfully, I've actually been doing some hits. Like, I've got some good numbers, I want 10 bags. And if he says no, then you respectfully part ways and hopefully do business again. Like, that's how business works, that's how mature people do it. But obviously a lot of these people they don't get it, do you know what I'm saying? So ultimately, I believe Fumez, and I'm glad that he actually addressed this. I do believe he should have addressed this earlier, to be honest, but it's better late than never. So yeah, man, I appreciate you sticking by. As I said, I hope you lot had a Merry Christmas. Shout out Fumez, and yeah, man, I'll see you lot in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.